Why do women hate Sydney Sweeney by ShoeOnHead? Well, there's multiple reasons. I'd say there's multiple reasons. Possibly one reason, most certainly, is that they, what's the word? Jealousy. Jealousy is usually a good pinpoint. That's usually a good one. But also what I believe is, and this does not only go for Sydney Sweeney, but in general, people don't like looking at attractive and healthy people. Let me speak. Hear me out. It is a constant reminder of you yourself being not healthy and unattractive. You may not realize it by yourself, but subconsciously, it might remind you of the fact that you are not where you want to be or where you should be. So you like to tear down others. This is not just a woman thing. I think this is also to a degree a man thing. I mean, looks maxers are literally a result of that, right? But yeah, we'll just see. We'll just see.
So, if you've been living under a rock, you probably haven't heard that Sydney Sweeney was in an American Eagle commercial.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has great genes.
Get it? Genes? Genes? Because she's attractive?
Yeah, but people didn't get that because, you know, they saw it as a white supremacist dog whistle or something like that. Which is really, really interesting. Because... Holy tractor. Because, you know, an ad apparently is that deep. An ad is apparently that deep.
And she is. I can see why men like her. She has a really cute face and a nice body.
And yes, Sydney Sweeney does in fact have good genes. Great genes, in fact. That's the reason why she looks the way she does.
But personally, my favorite thing about Sydney Sweeney is that she's a Nazi. Did they mean to include a bunch of—
Oh no. Oh no, hold up. Hold up. No! No, actually? I mean, I've seen it. I've seen a few things when I watched the decoy voice video, but this is new. I guess I wasn't wrong.
Nazi dog whistles in this? How the f did she agree to this? Actual Nazi ad. The only way Sydney Sweeney would be okay with doing an ad like this is if she was a Nazi.
This doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. How did it come to that conclusion? I guess... Wait, are they people here pretty white girls said jeans and lost their mind? True. True. They did.
This is Nazi shit.
The war on hot women. And whether you like it or not, there is in fact a war on hot women. Literally look at modern movies, TV shows, art. And this doesn't, by the way, it doesn't discriminate against just white ladies either. Look at the depictions of black women. Why are there so many artworks of black women where the black women are, for some odd reason, somehow always a racist caricature of a black woman? By the way, these are made by black people, which I question. That is weird. And sometimes white people. Nazi's too easy to call someone today. People call you Nazi if you yell at your dog, possibly. She's hot. There you go. Pretty much.
Stop the ad! That is being racist!
Some of you guys might be too young to remember, but back in the day when an ugly girl was jealous of a pretty girl, she would simply call her a whore. But that's a good thing now.
Yeah, so that doesn't work anymore. Always a war on hot women. I don't know if always. I mean, looking at the... people in generally don't like attractive people, I guess. Sure, you aren't wrong.
so we have to call her racist. I am going to be completely honest, I have no idea what movies Sydney Sweeney is in. All I know, she is a very popular celebrity, and I always see discourse on Twitter about her being mid.
How? These people must be blind or gay. Blind or gay. This is not mid. This is not mid. The fuck you mean this is mid?
What is wrong with you people? Who is not mid nowadays? I saw Anne Hathaway get called mid the other day. Anne Hathaway. If these women are mid, I'm like a sub-zero. I'm like a -2. I am like a...
You need to consider this. Instagram has fried and corn. Instagram and corn have fried men's brains. They have fried men's brains way too much. I just recently saw a clip of like a group of women and like a group of men, and they were like trying to see if they could date each other, right? Not the entire group, but like individuals, right? Introducing themselves to the group, and then like if somebody was interested in dating, they would stand up. There was a super quirky girl. She was like just recently got into scuba diving, skiing, all that stuff, right? She's super adventurous, quirky, wants to find a guy that wants to travel a lot, stuff like that, right? Not a single of the dudes stood up. I'm not talking about like the travel of you know, I'm gonna collect a bunch of men on my travels, right? Just a genuinely normal, absolutely normal looking woman. None of the dudes stood up. None. We are cooked.
Horseshoe crab on the bottom of the ocean. Horseshoe crabs are pretty base though. 445 million years, no.
This is peak design, chat. This is peak design. This thing looks the same since the beginning of time. This thing just looks the same. Ever. Blind, gay, or very jealous. Yep.
No evolution. That's me. Millions of years on YouTube, no evolution. Sydney Sweeney has like a fun, bubbly personality. She seems like she enjoys being feminine, and it seems like she doesn't hate men, which is a big plus. She really plays into the like, I'm a hot blonde bombshell, I have big titties thing, which, are we back to liking titties as a society? Didn't Kim Kardashian deflate her ass recently? That's how I knew.
Wait, what? Kim Kardashian deflated her butt? Okay, sure. I guess that's a thing.
The ass fad was over. The fall of Kim Kardashian's ass and the rise of Sydney Sweeney. Besides, ass, titties, no, I don't objectify women. I respect women, okay? The only thing that matters to me is a woman's mind. And thighs. What is like the...
A woman's mind and thighs. To be fair, face everything. Face is everything, I swear. Face is everything. It doesn't really matter, man or woman, face is everything.
Male body equivalent to this debate. Abs or arms? Personally, I love a good forearm. I love a good, nice, thick, manly wrist. And you know what looks great on a wrist? A watch. Which brings us to today's sponsor.
Holzkern. Is it? It is.
Holzkern. So let's quickly give them a shout out before we get into today's video, shall we? Holzkern is a young Austrian company that creates unique watches, jewelry, and accessories using all natural materials like wood and stone.
I maybe I should get a watch at this point. Maybe I should. At this point, I've seen this ad so much, I should get a watch.
Their high-quality timepieces come in various designs for both men and women, making them the perfect choice for any style or occasion. All of Holzkern's products are manufactured in small quantities to ensure responsible and ethical production, while making sure each item is built to last. I personally love the kaleidoscope watch with the little flower design on the pearl dial. I think it is so beautiful and so cute. I'm obsessed with it. The glass is made of sapphire crystal, making it scratch resistant, while the strap is crafted from koa wood, and it's water resistant as well. There's also the Moonrise watch, which is made from genuine white marble and stainless steel. It shows the weekday, date, and even the current moon phase, which is really cool. I think all their products make very beautiful gifts, and since they're all made from natural materials, they're all very unique. All their items come with a 2-year warranty and
I'm not skipping the ad. Otherwise, she would threaten me to skip the ad. Not skip the ad, so we're not skipping the ad.
Ordering online is super easy with free worldwide shipping within 5 to 9 business days. And if you're in the US, don't worry, Holzkern handles the custom feeds for you, so no unexpected drama there. Just click my link in the description below and use my special discount code SHOE to get 15% off your order. Plus, if you additionally sign up for their free premium club membership, you'll get access to exclusive products, special discounts, and early pre-sales. But if you only want to check things out for now, no pressure, you can just sign up, come back later, and you'll still get a special discount on your first purchase. So if you're looking for a unique gift or just want to treat yourself to a nice watch, I highly suggest checking out Holzkern. Big thank you to Holzkern for sponsoring this video. And now, let's get back to it.
Where's my threat? I want to be threatened. I did not skip the ad, and now you didn't threaten me? How dare you?
Jeans are brown. Sounds like I shit my pants.
The woke outrage.
Yes. Yes, the brown.
Over Sydney Sweeney's ad has gone from, well, bad to worse.
Some people have taken issue with the phrase great genes being used over images of a blonde, blue-eyed woman.
If Sydney Sweeney is a registered Republican, I think her ad is fantastic. Okay, thank you very much, everybody.
TikTok and Twitter absolutely blew up with thousands and thousands of people calling this ad fascist propaganda. Yes, they literally took the jeans and jeans pun to be some kind of Nazi dog whistle because Sydney Sweeney is an attractive blonde-haired
They really want to find Nazis. They actually are attempting. They are actively attempting to find somewhere there aren't any. You can't make it up. They are literally I think that one meme tweet, whatever you want to call it, they literally create a guy in their head doing something, and then they get mad at that guy. Bro.
blue-eyed woman, which apparently has been an extinct species for so long in advertisement that when people saw this, they got scared and thought they saw the ghost of Hitler. Is Sydney Sweeney a Nazi? No. But do these people kind of have a point about this ad?
Aren't they literally making an anime where, past evil people and good people get reincarnated in a way? That includes, like, Napoleon, Caesar, Hitler, and everything.
Also no, they are unwell. But let's hear them out. Let's watch some of these TikToks. Let's listen to them, listen to their points. We're not gonna be mean. We're not gonna own the libs, okay? We are going to hear them out.
You guys are complaining about that Sydney Sweeney jeans ad, so I went and saw it.
That's Nazi propaganda.
And once again, I have to say it. They always look like that. They always look you always know what they look like. You always do. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure there are people that look like that that don't act like that. But you can always tell what they look like. Also, septum piercing theory.
Holy 2014 Tumblr. What the f? Out here looking like she walked straight out of a Stone Toss comic. Looking like you're going on the thumbnail of this video. Listen, if your bangs end in the middle of your forehead, you don't have to tell me your political opinions. I know them. I can tell. Okay, sorry.
Also, if you have a septum piercing, chances are I know. It's not about bad and good people. It's about how they left this world and entered the isekai. Spoiler drift is big bad. Is Jesus? That's funny.
Sorry, I got it out of my system. Let's continue.
I will be the friend that's too woke because those Sydney Sweeney American Eagle ads are weird. Like,
I can tell that you are the friend that is too woke. And yes, septum piercing. Again, I have to point it out. I always have to point it out. Yes, you are I can tell that you are.
Fascist weird. Like, Nazi propaganda weird.
So this commercial was apparently a reference to an old Brooke Shields commercial from the 80s.
The secret of life lies hidden in a genetic code. Genes
are fundamental in determining the characteristics of an individual and passing on these characteristics to succeeding generations. This may result in the origin.
So what they did is they just repurposed an ad and people thought, scream Nazi. That's crazy.
Of an entirely new species. Which brings us to Calvin's and the survival of the fittest.
Calvin Klein jeans.
Oh my god, she turns into a swastika. She was like 14 in that ad, by the way. Really creepy. So at least Sydney Sweeney is of legal age.
I wouldn't know. I could have. The quality was so bad that I could not tell.
14 is actually pretty old for Brooke Shields if you know her history and her lore. If anything, that is the most f***ed up thing about this Sydney Sweeney ad, referencing an old ad of a child star who was abused by Hollywood. But yeah, it was a callback to an old commercial, and Sydney Sweeney is the current day hot celebrity, so they chose to do it with her. They unfortunately failed to consider the fact that in current year, white people are not allowed to say that they have good genes, because that is Nazi propaganda.
A blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman is talking about her good genes. Like,
I can tell who does not have good genes. I can tell. It's just, I can tell that you do not have good genes. That's all I know. That maybe that's the main reason why you actually complain, because you do not.
That is Nazi propaganda.
You don't get to drop lines about inherited traits, blue eyes, and great genes while zooming in on somebody that could have walked straight off of a Nazi propaganda poster.
A white, blonde, blue...
Is this mental illness? The worst thing that happened to society, nobody can prove me otherwise, is liberal white women. Literally the downfall of humankind. How do you get to the conclusion that a woman talking about her genes isn't a attractive woman talking about her genes? How do you get to the point where you think that is Nazi propaganda? How does this work? I'm losing brain cells as we speak. They're currently crushing together at light speed in my head.
Blue-eyed, Hitler's wet dream talking about
my neurons are in flames.
How much she loves her genetics. It's not just giving eugenics, it's giving male fantasy.
I like how eugenics and being attractive to men are like equally terrible things to these people.
Ah yes, an attractive woman making an ad for genes is certainly for men. How exactly does this work? How exactly does that work? I am completely confused. I'm just out.
Sydney Sweeney's jeans ad is giving ethnic state propaganda. It is giving dystopian. It is giving 1940s Germany.
Why do they all speak the same? Why do they all do the same shit? They all say the same shit. It's giving. It's giving.
Put a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, fair-skinned woman in an ad and say she has good genes. I don't know if I can say this, but it's literally giving Nazi propaganda.
It's giving. Also,
it's giving? Always it's giving. How? I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose my mind. Why is your feelings? Stop using your feelings. Look at facts, not feelings.
Flesh-colored microphone? Why? It's giving dick, okay? It's giving penis. It's giving cock.
I can't believe I actually have to explain this, but there is a reason that they picked a girl named Sydney Sweeney for this ad, and it's not just her blonde hair and her blue eyes. Sydney Sweeney is laying with her German Shepherd dog in this shoe. Her name is Sydney Sweeney, so her initials are SS.
What? How? How do you come to that conclusion? That's gotta be rage. This is rage bait. This is rage bait. Okay, this clip has to be rage bait. This clip has to be rage bait. It has to be. It's giving insecurity. It's showing lady. It's giving Nazi without. It's giving they can't say Nazi. Yeah. How do you come to that conclusion? What the heck? How? This is retarded, bro. This is rage bait. This has to be rage bait. I'm not, nah, bro. This has to be rage bait. Nah.
Intentionally included her German Shepherd dog in the photo shoot.
Oh my god. Take your meds. Meds. Her name is Sydney.
They are literally schizo. They are literally schizo. It says lady with German Shepherd. Get it? They are schizo. They gotta be schizo. Also, Chad, if you own a dog, Hitler owned dogs. Does that make all of us Nazis? This is crazy.
Sweeney. Her initials are SS, like the Nazis. The dog is a German Shepherd, German, like the Nazis. Are they putting crack in birth control nowadays? What is going on?
I mean, the baby food apparently has 177 times the legal amount of lead in there, so maybe that's the reason they were retarded as babies already.
She is a hot woman. She is a hot woman because of the way she looks. She looks the way she looks because of genetics. She has great genes. That is how a normal person sees it. She's blonde and has blue eyes and her initials are SS and she has a German Shepherd is how a schizophrenic, politically brain-rotted person sees it.
Hi, thanks for calling American Eagle. This is Jess. How can I help today?
Hi, I am a marketing student and was wondering if I could speak to someone who could maybe give me some insight as to what estimated
They're fucking calling there. They are fucking calling there. Hitler was a human. Does that make me a Nazi? Yep, apparently. Okay, that means all confirmation. Everyone is. It's over.
return on investment there has to be willing to use white supremacy and eugenics.
How the fuck? I mean, I have to give her that. She had the balls to call. But holy fuck. You should get blacklisted of every company that sells clothes. I'll be real. Go naked.
As your marketing campaign.
On a marketing campaign?
Harassing some poor worker. Doesn't even fucking speak English. Has all.
Yeah, essentially she was harassing some poor lady. That's what it is. She was harassing some poor lady that doesn't even properly speak English. She probably did not even understand. She probably does not even understand what you just said.
To do with the commercial. These people are sick.
Yes, I recently saw American Eagle's eugenics marketing campaign where they used that white blonde girl and talked about how good her genes were in a time where race...
Why are none of their genes good? Why are the people complaining? Why are all their genes not good? Just put the fries in the bag, homie. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. It really isn't. It's a fucking ad. That's it.
Racism is rampant in the U.S.
I see. Thank you for taking time to share your feedback.
Why are you bothering this random-ass Filipino woman with your West Wing-ass TED Talk? Nobody gives a f***.
Okay, so there's no way to, as a student, I can't learn about when eugenics makes sense in marketing? No one on the marketing team can talk to me about that?
I miss like 50 years ago when these people would just be serial killers instead of doing whatever the f*** this is. She's even got other celebrities seething.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Haha, she did a dumb redneck voice, get it? Because all white people are dumb inbred hicks? Good one, Doja. Hey, by the way, why are you pandering to the same exact people who got your ass cancelled for wearing a Sam Hyde shirt once? They all think
Doja wore a Sam Hyde shirt once? When did that happen? When did that DLC drop? I didn't know of that. That's new. Also, I don't think anybody with that kind of music can talk, you know?
I think you're racist too, girl, but nice try. Hope they see this.
Doja Cat is making fun of Sydney Sweeney's ad only because she realized after all those years of her kissing up to white supremacists, they're never going to accept her because she's a half-black woman. Wearing the Sam Hyde shirt, you dating all these white supremacists. So make fun of the ad all you want, but we'll never forget you rolling around in those chat.
Oh, yes, the classic. Never ask a white supremacist what the skin color what the skin color of his girlfriend is.
Room showing white supremacists your feet so they can make fun of your black ass.
Oh, they did see it, and they still hate you.
Weird adverts aside about how the best genes are characterized in a conventionally attractive white, blonde, blue-eyed woman. Not true. I mean, look at me. Within 5 years, or as soon as she shows any sign of aging, that's it. The moment she becomes visibly over 25.
Enjoy the ride now, babe, before you get too old and ugly and
Did he just use a talking point that red pillars love to use, which is the wall? I guess they do love using talking points when they are of the other side, when they are convenient to use, apparently. Also, that doesn't change. Yes, we all age, but she's gonna age better than you and me. Also, you don't have good genes, even though you have blonde hair, blue eyes, and you're white. Congratulations.
hit the wall. But wokely. This is just something I've noticed in the decade of criticizing feminism on the internet. Male feminists are the most misogynistic, sexist freaks ever when they finally have an acceptable, approved target to go after. God forbid you are a woman with the incorrect opinion, because hell hath no fury like a male feminist replying to you.
A strawberry blonde, blue-eyed woman marketing having great genes. This is just a whole fucking eugenics campaign, and I, for one, would like to throw myself off a balcony.
Do it.
Do it. Do it. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Just unplug the brainwasher. Thank you. Just unplug it. Remove the brainwashing. Thank you.
Do a backflip, live stream it. Also, these people just straight up don't know what the eugenics movement is. Talking about genetics is not eugenics. Sydney Sweeney did not say she had the best genes or superior genes or that other people had bad, inferior genes. Someone even made it like a fake ad, like, Beyonce has better genes, and it's like, why'd you pick the picture where she has like a blonde wig on?
This campaign.
Good question. Also, if one side does it, it's racist. If the other side does it, it's not. What is this double standard? Want to age well, eat well, take care of your body, take care of your health. Yep, that is exactly what you need to do. That is exactly.
Is poking at women's greatest and most tender insecurity under the patriarchy, which is desirability and the beauty standard. It affects not only non-white women, even though this is clearly white supremacist, Aryan race propaganda.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess now we're fully talking about it, huh? Aryan. Oh, that's interesting. We have beauty standards, yes. It is what it is. Live with it. Men have beauty standards too. Funnily enough, not a single man complains about it, and if they do, you get told that you're a retard, like actively. Live with it. Men aren't complaining. Not a single man is complaining about beauty standards for men. Nobody is complaining that you need to look that like movies are pushing that you need to look like Zac Efron during Baywatch. Men look at that and are like, boy, I gotta look like that. Gotta hit the gym. Women are like, when they see an attractive woman, ugh, no! Beauty standards! Say I have good genes isn't racist. Say I have better genes is racist. Exactly. And then even the better genes could be in a context, right? Even in the context, even depending on the context. Like, for example, when it's like beauty, right? Just strictly beauty, and you say I have better genes, and you are more pretty, then it is what it is. I guess it's true then.
But it also adversely affects the majority of white women who do not naturally have blonde hair and blue eyes. Because yes, even the women who can achieve this look have to do it through artificial means in one way or another. The vast majority of white women are not naturally blonde. And of course, lots of white women are also insecure about having brown eyes.
You would not know how many women technically are blonde. It's just that the blonde varies. Like my little brother technically has brown. I would consider it brown hair, but through through the look of like a hairdresser or hairstylist, he technically does have dark blonde, really dark blonde. you have to really look at those colors and realize that a lot of things that we consider brown are actually technically blonde and not brown. Interesting. Also, your insecurities are not other people's problems. If you're fat and you get insecure because you see healthy people, thin people, that is your problem. It's not my problem. It's not the attractive person's problem. That's your problem. Those are your feelings. We need to realize that your feelings are your own feelings, and they only affect you, and you are responsible for what you do with those. And if you want to be a bitch, just be a bitch. Just don't cry if you get backlash for being a bitch.
So that's a whole generation of young white women who are being further propagandized to purchase blonde hair dye and contacts for the rest of all time.
Okay, what? Are attractive women just not allowed to model anymore because, like, God forbid it makes some other women insecure? And as someone with brown eyes, I've never once felt insecure about having brown eyes. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna get into hyperborea, but I've seen myself photoshopped with blue eyes. Horrifying.
Bro, that's a bit that's too blue. That's no natural blue. That's too much blue. That's too blue. That's not normal. That's too bright. That's a bit too maybe not bright, but too saturated. Do people really now? People don't have that blue.
So we've gone from Nazi propaganda to genocide to racism to now poor little girls are gonna feel insecure because they don't have blue eyes like Sydney Sweeney.
Another thing about the Sydney Sweeney beauty standard that is very important to note is that big boobs are a hallmark of what conservative men are attracted to.
We are humans. We appreciate big boobs and big ass. This is... I want to throw my bottle, bro. I want to throw it. I want to throw it at this woman. If there's one reason to become misogynistic, this is one of them. Okay. Even lesbians like big tits. Bisexual men like big tits. I'm sorry that it offends you that you don't have big tits. What is this? What are we doing? What are we doing? Sorry, if you're a woman and you watch this and you have big booba, just get to the surgery at this point. Just get the surgery. Your boobs might offend somebody. Just take them off. Just take them off. Just do it. They might offend somebody. What is this? What is this? What is this argument? Straight women love big breasts. Yes! Yes, they do! Yes, they do. There's a reason why big booba are sexualized. Because, universally, chop them off. Yep. Chop them off. Universally, most men like big booba. That's it. That's the full thing. How do you come to that conclusion? It does not make sense, lady. It does not make sense. Remove the brainwashing helmet. Goodness.
At the end of the early 2000s and through the 2010s, we were becoming a more progressive society, and so we also naturally progressed.
Also, I realized, so, if you like big boobs, you're conservative. Or a sexist. Apparently now also a white supremacist, and you uphold unreasonable beauty standards. Now, if you prefer flat chests, you're a pedophile. So you can't win. You literally can't win.
Us to be a more ass-centric society.
In the 2000s, we were becoming more progressive, so we started objectifying women's butts.
True. The way she said this is crazy. True. The way she just said it is crazy. So, objectifying women's butts is less of a problem than boobs. Okay, sure, I guess. So true, but on rare occasions, there's such a thing as too big. True. 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 And I would say that the too big mostly happens though when it's hurting the woman's back, which in this case, make them smaller. Go to a doctor. I'd rather you have a healthy body. If you do it wrong, if you like big boobs, you Nazi. I guess it is what it is. You aren't supposed to win, duck, and neither do you, because you like big boobs too. Definitely. I know what you are.
What? The communist utopia will be ass-centric, apparently. I didn't know the ass versus tits thing was political. How does she know conservatives are all boob?
How do you even make that political? How do you make men's preferences political? How do we make biological preferences political? Oh my goodness, how is this political? Because men has butts too, but only women have boobs, so I think that's why it's okay to objectify nice butts, possibly. Still doesn't make it right, but yes, possibly.
Men. Conservatives in the audience, are you a boobs or butt guy? What political affiliation are the feet?
I do not care. I do not care. I don't care. There's more important things. There's way more important things to look out for.
Men. Libertarians.
Lips like... Wait! That's why they don't objectify women. That's why they never are on the list of objectifying women. Because they like feet. Got it. It's essentially safe horny.
Listen, they can try to disguise it with their little intersectionality buzzwords all they want, but at the end of the day, women just want a socially acceptable reason to hate other women. That's it.
Good genes pass on to offspring?
I know what you are. Get Poliwag out of here! Save Poliwag. I beg of you, please save Poliwag. Please save Poliwag. Somebody needs to save my boy down here. Get him out of here. Also, this looks like it. Like, this doesn't look like an adult.
American Eagle ad with Sydney Sweeney is literally overt eugenics. I know you don't want to hear this, but if you want to talk about how that ad is promoting eugenics, which it absolutely is, we also have to talk about how choosing not to wear a mask when you can during an ongoing pandemic, because you're okay with a certain subset of people, primarily disabled people of color, dying for your own comfort.
Okay. Okay. So, not wearing a mask during the pandemic primarily affects disabled people of color. Is the virus racist? Is the corona is racist? It only goes after those disabled black people or people of color. Bro, what? How did they pull this out of their ass? How did they pull this out of their ass? Oh, so me not wearing a mask in front of my disabled white grandmother is not gonna make her sick because the virus is racist and skips her. It will instead target actively the black neighbor in a wheelchair. That is literally what you're saying. How?
Is also eugenics.
1 second. "2025. We are talking about wearing masks for COVID in 2025. I like how she's woke scolding the other woke scold.
CDS? CDS. COVID derangement syndrome. How do this nobody believes me when I say this pandemic, if you can call it that, fried people's brains. This is actually the beginning of this was the beginning of brain rot. And it's not even the stuff that kids consume. This is the brain rot.
For not woke scolding about her particular pet issue. COVID broke the brains of so many of these people, man. It's because it's when the world was just a giant, safe HR longhouse where it was socially acceptable for them to be moral busybodies and never leave their home. It was like the closest to their lib shit utopia that we have ever gotten, and they miss it.
I remember growing up in a predominantly white community, wishing myself out of this body, out of this culture, take my name, if it meant that I could wake up blonde-haired and blue-eyed, never having to explain who I am or worry about being accepted. That is why this American Eagle ad with Sydney Sweeney is especially off-putting.
Listen, I'm sorry that happened to you, but we live in a predominantly white country. If you
don't like it here, if you don't like the culture, if you don't like the people, if you don't like the people with that skin color, the hair, the eyes, why are you here? Just go there where the people look like you. That's the solution. Yo, that's the solution. You don't like living in you're black and you don't like living in the white country? Move to a country that is predominantly black. You're Asian, you don't like living, I don't know, in Germany? Go to Asia. What is the problem? No person in their right mind would live in a country that they don't like. Just leave, man. I wouldn't live in Switzerland if I didn't like Switzerland. Huh? I summon blue eyes, white dragon. You do get some diversity in your deck. Bro is like, get the red eyes black dragon. You racist. But yeah, sit at home isn't good for society in more than few ways. Yep. Isolation, more exposed to social media, which is worse in my opinion. I got red eyes, black dragon, just to keep my deck safe from racism. It's just not good for you in general. Mess up your body. True, it will.
You go to another country, there will be a different beauty standard. If you go to the country of your ancestors, there will be a different beauty standard, and maybe it will look more like you. But again, she didn't say her genes were better or the best, and it's not like all the hot popular celebrities look like Sydney Sweeney. Look at Ana de Armas, look at Zendaya. They don't look anything like Sydney Sweeney, and they are known as very beautiful around Hollywood. This is why corporations in the media think in order to pander to the female gaze, everything has to be like average and frumpy and ugly, because women can't stop fucking projecting their insecurities. Not every character in a movie or a video game has to look like you. Not everyone in an ad has to look like you.
But these women are a minority. Like, go on. They did a study, or not a study, but they did a survey on women. If they do prefer attractive characters, and the overwhelming majority of women said yes, they do prefer their characters to be attractive, male and female. This is a small, loud minority of women that are completely brain rotted. No brain. It's just a stem. Nothing else.
Hell, the only time I see people who look like me is when I turn on the live-action Grinch movie. You notice men never say this shit, by the way? They usually go like, wow, that man is strong. I don't look like that. I'm gonna go to the gym. And women are like, wow, that woman is thin. I don't look like that. I'm gonna go complain.
What to make Sydney Sweeney's jeans better? Like, why did you get that joke? All us woke people are saying is that it's just a little bit weird to directly reference European jeans as better.
Again,
nobody said better. Nobody said better. Nobody. Nope, nobody.
Never said that her genes were better. You are making shit up.
Now, when you think of the all-American girl, like the standard of like American beauty, you probably think blonde hair, blue eyes, white girl, right? You're not supposed to think that way.
You're not supposed to think that way, guys. That's double plus ungood.
That's ingrained in you because of negative things that have been pushed on you by society.
When you think about the all-American woman, you should be thinking about an obese, transgender, disabled woman or something. What would be an acceptable vision of the American woman for this?
I don't know, maybe that really ugly statue of that black woman, which once again looks like a racist caricature of a black woman. Why can they never create anything that truly shows beautiful black women? I don't get it. Dungeons and Dragons just recently did it as well. Why must you do that? At some point, I'm genuinely thinking this is all just the CIA doing this on purpose.
person. It's insane she's saying that we think Sydney Sweeney is hot because of negative things that have been pushed on us by society. No, bitch, we have eyes. And just because she is attractive does not mean you are also not attractive. Look at your full lips. That is a standard of beauty I'll never live up to, but that's okay, because I have other things that are beautiful and unique about me, just like you have other things that are beautiful and unique about you, regardless if Sydney Sweeney—
Well, it cannot be her personality, that's for sure. The proper representation of an American woman is a man. Wait, didn't Mulvaney get voted as, something like greatest American woman, something like that? Or greatest woman of all time, something like, I don't know what it was. Stuff like that. You get the idea. I don't know exactly what it was, but apparently it was picked for that, which, I'm gonna say this, it's gonna make people bad, but I don't care. Biological men have nothing to do with, should never be considered for anything that is for women, biological women. I'm sorry. I'm gonna straight up say that. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. Not women's sports, not beauty pageants for women. Nothing like that. Nuh-uh. How about let me be attracted to and you be attracted to what you want to, and if you don't like your body, fucking do something about it. But that's the point. They don't want to do anything about it because we push the idea that everyone is perfect the way they are. Which is a lie. Nobody is perfect the way they are. There's always something you can improve. And that's fine. You're not meant to be perfect. But these people can't do that. They must live in fantasy Sugarland, where everyone is perfect.
Is held up as the American beauty standard. These are lessons your mother should have taught you, not a YouTuber. Sydney Sweeney's ad shows a cultural shift towards whiteness. Advertisements are always mirrors of society, and sometimes what they reflect is ugly and startling. Boo! A white woman. Oh, the fucking author is white. I hate these people, man. Shut up. Shut up. It's one thing—
What is it with these self-hating people? What is it with these self-hating people? Why do you hate yourself so much? Why do you hate yourself so much? Who gave you the idea that you must hate yourself so much? Stop that. I don't see that from any other culture. I don't see it from Japanese, Chinese, Black, Asian in general, Indian, Russian. Western women are the only ones that are doing this. Why are you doing this? I would like to have green, blue, and gray eyes, but yeah, I'll comfort myself with brown eyes that look pretty with sunlight. Like, you can change those things, so why complain? The only perfect being is Relican and Cell, clearly. I'd say the what do you call it? The horseshoe crab. That is definitely one that is perfect. You can't deny that. 445 million years without evolution? That is peak. That is peak design. Man isn't God's greatest creation. It's the horseshoe crab. My father got blue eyes and all of us 3 children have brown eyes. I'm so angry at him for it. Wait, shouldn't you be, wait, does that mean your mother has brown eyes? Shouldn't you be mad at your mother? At least you can look at the sun, they won't hurt. True. Well, you shouldn't look at the sun directly either. That's not good for your eyes regardless. But you are, sunlight is much easier on your eyes if you have brown eyes.
I think when it's like a non-white person talking about how white people suck, it's like, okay, you're just racist. But when it's a white person talking about white people suck, you need to be ground up into a pulp and fed to livestock. You would honestly be more useful that way. Ants are always mirrors of society, and sometimes what they reflect is ugly and startling. Popular American culture is, indisputably, becoming more puritanical and more conservative. Puritanical? The focus of the ad was her tits and ass! This is not at all a conservative, puritanical ad. Have you seen what the puritanical right thinks of Sydney Sweeney? They think she's a whore, okay? They think she's a whore. The backlash has been—
They think They are, literally. They really hate her. A lot of the conservatives really hate her because she dated black men. So what are you on about? Again, been told on occasion that my eyes get darker brown to almost black in sunlight. Bro has some demons inside him. Yes, my mother has brown eyes. I'm mad at father for not being more dominant. Or should have been more dominant.
And swift and fierce, and some of it, at least if you ask me, is fair. The internet has been quick to condemn the advertisement as non-inclusive at best. Non-inclusive? Why the f does everything have to be inclusive? It's a
Another hot take. Nothing has to be inclusive. Nothing. It doesn't have to be. I'm sorry. It doesn't. It really doesn't. If you don't fit somewhere, find something else. If something's not made for you, find something else. I'm sorry. That is the undeniable truth. It would be best if companies would mostly cater to their core audience for success. Because if they don't, they fail. We have seen that recently. Concord, for example.
commercial with one fucking person in it. Sweeney exudes a source of vintage sexiness that caters to the male gaze. She embodies the near mythological girl next door beautiful but low maintenance sexy femininity.
But this is an ad about women's jeans, not men's jeans. Women's jeans. Why would a man look at that ad and be like, yes, I'm gonna buy myself women jeans now?
That dominated the media in the 1990s and early 2000s. Oh wow, that sounds great. You're telling me that's fascism? Waiter, more fascism please. What the f***? It's just so funny, like, the left is currently losing their mind about how, like, they need to get young men to vote for—
Also, I'm gonna be honest, I don't like the term progressives. Because they're not progressive. If anything, they would be like changeist. Because just because it's different doesn't mean it's progressive. In fact, something can be different and actually regressive. Just because something is left doesn't mean it's progressive. Because the definition for progress is moving forward. Progress would be, we can do space travel. Progress would be, we fix our birth rate. That is progress. Progress would be equal rights when it comes to court for men and women. Not leftist talking points in general.
Democrats again, and here they are like, blondes with big T's are fascism. Listen, the alt-right pipeline does not start with the American Eagle ad. It starts with you. What do you do?
Also conservative. Like, are big boobs, are we conserving? Because that's what it is, right? Are we conserving big boobs?
Doing. This is not at all a conservative far-right ad. It's just a normal ad that would have ran like 15 years ago. But I guess that's what being far-right is nowadays. Being normal from 15 years ago. I love this random part of the article though. Young women are being radicalized through so-called clean skincare and healthy eating. So fashion—
Healthy skin and healthy eating is radicalization. I really wonder if this society tries to keep people fat on purpose. I really wonder. I really wonder at this point if we're actually trying to keep people fat on purpose. Because that's the only thing that makes— how do you come to the conclusion that healthy eating is radical? Something that's universally and medically accepted as good. Yeah, guys, I must unradicalize myself by now eating just a diet that consists of McDonald's, Burger King, and KFC. Strong blue eyes. Bond. I should be recruiting them, not fighting them. Dragon Ball Resurrected Failed Artist. That's crazy. That's insane. True. Like, how do they come? It just does not make sense how they ever come to this conclusion. What kind of lens what kind of drugs do they take? What kind of weed do they smoke? I want that too. That must be some good shit if that sets me on a trip that makes me just annihilate reality.
Fascism is hot people eating healthy and having clean skin. Goebbels himself could not make better propaganda. Literally, as I am editing this video, the New York Times comes out with his opinion piece. Why the right is...
Being thin is healthy? Being thin is healthy. That's possible. Okay, because back ages ago, how fat you were was a sign of prosperity and wealth. Yeah, you aren't wrong. You aren't wrong because food was more scarce. But now it isn't. And now we have actual data that shows it's unhealthy to be overweight. And somehow not being overweight is now being radical. I don't know how that worked. But yes, being thin is better than being fat. I don't think there's much of an obsession here. I think everybody should be just obsessed with being healthy. Because it's universally good. For everyone. It's good for you, it's good for others, it's good for your children. It's just good. Being chunky was a sign of fertility back in the long past. That's why the small statues of the goddess of fertility was chunky. That is true. Again, food was more scarce. Therefore, if somebody had more food, that was obviously a good party. Obviously, but yeah. We had a long period of history that fat considered beauty. Not today, though. Yeah, because times have changed. Food is readily available everywhere. We have better healthcare than ever. People are living longer than ever.
Is obsessed with thinness. I would really appreciate if people stopped equating health and beauty to fascism, because if health and beauty are fascism, what is unhealthiness and ugliness? Unfortunately, a big part of socially progressive ideology is dismantling hierarchies and norms and challenging what society sees as conventional, traditional, and beautiful. A really good example of this was those statues that were put up, like...
This shit is so ugly. I'm gonna say it, this shit is so ugly. This shit is so ugly. This thing is ugly. Get it out there, replace it with an actual beautiful black woman. I'm not opposed to the statue of a black woman. I'm opposed to an ugly statue of a black woman. I'm sorry. Why is that here? In history, men like women with more fat at certain regions because that helped in the kid's development, brain specific, and that as well. Fun fact, they did a little study, and this literally showed that the beauty standards that we nowadays have are not based on men. They're based on women. Man pretty is a woman with a higher body fat percentage. While girl pretty, what girls find pretty, in general, is women with a lower body fat percentage. Which is really interesting. That means that women do in fact prefer looking at skinnier women than men. It was also natural food, not what Americans have. Do you mean the mystery food? You mean the food that 177 times the legal limits of lead in baby food?
All over different cities of like a frumpy woman in leggings. And the artist says like the purpose of these was to like challenge conventional beauty standards. And it's like, imagine looking like one of these women and then...
Not only that, there were plenty of black women saying they find this thing horrid. Why are you not putting an actual beautiful black woman there? So I'm not the only one. I can say this because black women have said it. This thing is horrid. I think in the near future, life length will be shortened a bit, but I wonder if the media will let the population know about it. I think actually it might get longer. I think not only that, but also think that people will live longer, healthier. I hope so. I'd rather right now focus on, instead of extending the life expectancy, extending the period of healthiness. I think that's much. It doesn't matter if I'm 80 if I can't move on my own anymore, or like 100 I can't move on my own anymore. Like, that's not a life I want to live. So that's one thing. This. Okay, let me look at this. Let me look at this. Yeah, I'm also aware that most of the food served in my country would be illegal in most European countries. Yep. I think radiation has other plans for us, possibly. I mean, let's hope that there won't be any radiation. I don't want to be blown up to bits.
Hearing like, oh yeah, this was put up to challenge beauty, like, what do you mean by that? Remember the whole body positivity movement like 10 years ago? Remember like all the fat influencers? Remember when every single ad was like this ad, for example?
Yeah, and the fat influencers. There's literally a video of was it? It was either Think Before You Sleep or Sydney Watson, who literally made a video of dead fat influencers. How can we have that? How the fuck did we normalize being so fat and glorifying it to the point we're dying? When did that happen?
Calvin Klein's latest underwear campaign is breaking big boundaries. Big boundaries? Whoa, 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 whoa. What do you mean by that? While fashion is starting to seriously consider creating more inclusive environment for consumers, there is still a huge mountain to climb before—
Are they doing this on purpose? Are they doing this on purpose? Big boundaries, huge mountain.
or it is truly considered diverse. Huge mountain? No, that's just mean. And that's why Calvin Klein, probably the most famous name associated with underwear, just launched a groundbreaking campaign. Groundbreaking? Oh, come on now. The campaign is all about feeling free to express yourself, being uninhibited, and being provocative by challenging the norms we see on a regular basis. See? Challenging norms. It's all about challenging norms. This reminds me of that Protein World controversy from 2015.
Wait, there was a protein ad controversy. Are you beach body ready? Wait. Yeah, okay. Actually, that was a Blair White video. She showed a Blair White video. Ah, okay.
Heads will remember. I wrote an article about it for the Libertarian Republic. Wow, that was a long—
Supplement company under fire for body shaming. I don't think we should normalize laying down in the sand at the beach, and whale hunters might mistake you for a whale if you lay there. Just saying.
Time ago. But anyway, a billboard with this ad for a protein powder supplement was put up and people lost their fucking minds. They vandalized it, they threatened to get a bunch of the employees fired, they threatened to go where the company was located with hammers.
One of the chicks at my college, right? One of the chicks at my college had this exact sticker. This exact sticker. You're not smashing any patriarchy. You know why? You know why you're not smashing any patriarchy? Because the same men that you are trying to smash are the reason why you, as a woman, can live freely. Incredible hot take. The only reason women have women's rights is because there's men upholding them. If all men collectively now decided that there were no women's rights, you'd have no rights. So how about a little thank you? That'd be cool.
All because they committed the great crime of body shaming by daring to have a thin, attractive woman on their ad. This ad made other companies come out with their own like little virtue signaling things, like passive aggressive, like everybody is ready. Like every fashion magazine, every beauty magazine was pumping this shit out at the time. Just fat, 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 fat. The rise of like Tess Holiday and the hashtag.
Isn't she dead?
Like, F your beauty standards. Oh my god. You could not escape this. Also, suspiciously, body positivity only seemed to mean obese women.
Yeah, body positivity. Only obese women. If it's a fat man, it's... You disgusting pig, put on a shirt. Yeah, body positivity, by the way, is only for women. It's not for men.
But yes, everywhere you looked, it was like fat, 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 and everyone was like, yes, queen! Well, now we live in Ozempic world, and the fat acceptance movement seems to have died. Like many of the fat influencers, unfortunately. And these same types of people are like crashing out about the Sydney Sweeney ad because they really do feel like all the work.
Didn't Lizzo lose a lot of weight? Right? If I remember correctly. And people got super mad, saying like, she betrayed them and stuff. But to be fair, she made an absolutely perfect decision, because last time I saw her, she looked quite better. So, it's really good for her. Fuck the people that crash out over that. While I don't want to agree with that sentiment, most people in power are men, so even if most people in power would be women, if all men, you could not physically defend yourself. It's just the truth. If all men collectively decided, even if everything was with women in power, most people in military would still be men. And most people in police would still be men. It just is what it is, because men are stronger. That's it. We can force our opinions. Women kinda don't have that luxury. You're right, but what if we will decide to force our opinion and not count girls as living worthy as us? Do you think women's right will keep, even if there's a lot of annoying free speech women out there? Oh, I'm not saying we should do that. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That would be horrid. That would be terrible. We should not do that. That's first of all, that's absolutely insane. I'm not advocating for that. Hell no, we should not do that. Absolutely not. I think men and women are equal in value. Not equal in the things we do, but equal in value. That's totally different. We are different, but the same. Just to get that out. She was fat shaming other women and then lost a ton of weight. Both were huge controversies. I mean, you can't really throw a brick if you're sitting in a glass house, so that's a weird one. But yeah, her losing weight was definitely a good step. I'll send you a short. Okay.
Work they have done to like socially engineer people's behavior and preferences has been just like destroyed overnight. Who would win? Decades of propaganda? One big booby girl. I wrote in the old article, I can't say I'm too surprised at the backlash towards this model's body. We are living in a world where instead of striving to better ourselves and live a healthy lifestyle, praising obesity and unattractiveness is becoming the norm. Well, ShoeOnHead from 10 years ago, you will be happy to hear that it seems like it's no longer the norm. Because apparently not just American Eagle, but like Dunkin' Donuts and Arby's are using hot people in their ads again.
I mean, isn't there something called Hooters? Or whatever it's called in the US? That the entire thing, the entire marketing strategy of that fast food restaurant is literally just hot women? I mean, that's pretty obvious. It works. I'm sorry, but it works. Just like with most stuff, if something's hot, it works.
Is the culture truly healing, or are we about to go into a deep financial recession? Questions we should be asking. Angry Reddit freaks also doxed Sydney, looking through her voting records and found out she is a registered Republican. One of the most common things I saw about—
That's interesting. Well, I knew that, but when I first heard that, that's very interesting.
This were how, like, all the women getting mad about Sydney Sweeney were ugly, and I don't think that's true. There were some, like, pretty people in there. But it got onto this topic that I see all the time, and that is, why are liberal women so ugly? Leftists are ugly, conservatives are hot, which is not true, by the way. I was at January 6th, okay? But, for the most part, stereotypes exist for a reason, right? Conservatives are, well, conservative with the way that they present themselves. They tend to follow norms and beauty standards, which is why, for example, the media called Hassan a, quote, progressive in a
Progressive in a MAGA body. Wait, are you saying that MAGA men are usually more physically attractive? Just saying. Also, why are you also not progressive? If anything changes, I don't think that saying that we should eradicate certain places or that grape is fine if it happens to the right people is progressive in any way. Just saying. Also, why is his head so short, so small? He has a small head. Yeah, I can't stand that dude. I can't stand him.
MAGA body. And how so many women on dating apps nowadays are looking for a man who votes Democrat but looks like a Republican. Everyone is aware of the stereotypes. And with leftists, you know the stereotype, like the overweight, blue hair, nose ring. They're not all ugly, of course, but many purposely make themselves look ugly. Because being ugly is saying f you to the man. Marcel Duchamp's art piece, Fountain, which was literally just a urinal, was a f you to art institutions and classical ideas of beauty. Those f-ass ugly concrete block brutalist buildings are another example.
What is that? You know that, like, that game where you like you have like this block tower, right? That's like made up of different blocks, and you remove like one block always and see and make sure that it doesn't fall apart. This is what it looks like. What is this? Who made this? This is a crime. Like, have you seen the pic of Hassan in the bath? I'm gonna be honest. Destiny sucking dick was not as gay as this.
Brutalism emerged after World War II as a post-war modernist style, in part created as a f you to the classical architecture celebrated by, drumroll, the Nazis. Now think of those concrete buildings and the urinal and apply it to broader society. Basically, the blue hair and nose ring is a f you to, well, Sydney Sweeney. Hitler existed, so now everything has to be fat and ugly. Sorry. I don't know why so many on the left want to give the concept of beauty and health to the right, but it is not a winning strategy. Listen, I just want everyone's basic needs met, alright? I don't want people going in debt if they get into a car accident, or be homeless, or get sent to foreign wars. I didn't sign up for this stupid shit. It is funny though how like every time Sydney Sweeney is on camera, there's like a right-wing article like, woke is dead.
Woke is dead. Woke is not dead. Stop parading this. I find that so stupid. Woke is not nearly as dead as people want it to be, Jenga. Yup. Woke is just not dead. It still persists.
Wokeness is no match for Sydney Sweeney's undeniable beauty. Are Sydney Sweeney's breasts double D harbingers of the dead?
Are Sydney Sweeney's breasts double D harbingers of the death of woke? What the fuck are these people doing? This is just as stupid.
Death of woke. Was that girl right about conservatives being boob guys? She might have been right after all. Honestly, this doesn't really make sense because, like, the left are the ones trying to normalize porn and, like, OnlyFans culture and stuff like that. If anything, there is too much boobs everywhere. We need to calm down a bit. But when it comes to Sydney's, like, classical...
I mean, I'm the perfect example. I'm tired of this. I'm muting and blocking everyone who has their tits out. I'm so done with this. And IRL, if a woman is dressed too nakedly, that's probably not a word, but I can't find anything. I won't be close to her. It makes me uncomfortable. I can't see it anymore. I had enough.
Bombshell beauty, like, I kinda get where they're coming from. Sydney Sweeney is a hot white woman who does not mind catering to the male gaze after we had a decade of hearing about how the male gaze is bad and toxic. A decade of hearing about how white people are bad and toxic. A decade of ugly, angry, fat androgyny seeping its way into everything and anything. When people say Sydney Sweeney is anti-woke, I don't even think they mean politically. I think they just mean like Sydney Sweeney is like looking into a time portal back to 1992. A time when porn addiction wasn't such a big issue. Every woman didn't show her hole online for $5. Hookup apps didn't exist. It's like a bunch of millennials and zoomers are longing for a time they never experienced. But yes, this is a cultural shift.
A time where everyone wasn't naked? Same.
shift, but not necessarily a conservative one. Just a return to like normalcy, a return to normal Americana consumerism. And
reject modernity, embrace normalcy. Insert edit here.
2065, conservatives are gonna be like posting people twerking like, return! These same TikTok freaks who are attacking Sydney Sweeney have been sounding the alarm about this cultural shift for some time now. And we see a bunch of celebrities and—
but if twerking was normal in like 30 years, if that was considered normal, then we would be fucked in 30 years. Because what would be the normal thing happening then? It's a time where you... where most you would get it is Playboy. Very true. That is a time. Playboy. And very odd subscriptions on all phones. Not that I ever had any of these, but I know people that had these.
Embracing, like, looking normal and healthy again. Like, Demi Lovato is a perfect example of this. She was an obese, short hair, walking stereotype, crying about a frozen yogurt place, daring to sell sugar-free frozen yogurt.
I walked in, was so triggered that I left without froyo.
To now being skinny and healthy and married, and even making a TikTok dancing happily in that same frozen yogurt place.
The singer returning to the scene of the crime Wednesday, poking fun at herself on her social.
How does this even happen? Like, how can you go back to normalcy here? That's really interesting. Good for her, though. Huge W.
That's part of the reason these people are freaking out and saying, like, fascist aesthetics, because they know the chokehold they have had on culture is losing its grip. Inshallah. Once Sam Smith goes back to being normal...
What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that creature? What is this? That looks like somebody started Arc up, clicked on randomize, and this is the character they got.
That's when I know the culture is healing. Thankfully, American Eagle did not bend the knee and did not apologize to the horde. In fact, they doubled down. Sydney Sweeney has great genes, is and always was about the genes. Her genes, her story. Wait a minute. Her genes, her story. HH.
Yeah. Stop, you're giving them ideas.
Uh-oh. Now, I can sit here and say the obvious, like, these corporations just want to pander to you, they just want to sell you like, yeah, obviously. But have you considered, it's good when corporations pander to me, personally? I just realized so much of American political discourse is, like, around f***ing corporations and ads. The Gillette commercial, Bud Light, Protein World. There are so many examples, like, it's just crazy how so much of our politics revolves around consuming things. I will buy blue team product. I will buy red team product. Bleak.
Because we're brainless consumers. We are brainless consumers. Consume and wait for next product and consume again.
Conclusion, we are tired of ugly. There's hot people in ads again. The white woman is back, baby. Let's go. 500 trillion more to Israel. Nobody can afford a fucking house. World is run by pedophiles. But woke is dead, baby. That's
true. America first. But Israel firstest.
What I'm talking about. Hell yeah! So if you like this video, please subscribe and maybe donate to me on Patreon. Link down below. All Patreon members get the uncensored version of every single video a day early. So you get to hear all the fucks and shits uncensored. If you can't or don't want to do that, there's also a little tip jar down below.
So, if I pay for her Patreon, I get a uncensored version. And that works. It's just so I can hear ShoeOnHead swear. Perfect.
Oh, you can leave a little tip and I will give it a little heart. It helps the channel out and I appreciate it so much. Also, big shout out to Holtzkern again for sponsoring this video. Check them out, link down below. And I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye!
To summarize this whole ordeal, people are schizophrenic and need to take their meds. That's the entire summary of the video. People are schizophrenic and need to take their meds. And if that isn't enough, overdose. Anyways, like, comment, and subscribe.